You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, 100% real, featuring in-depth discussion on movies and the art of filmmaking. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, 100% real.
Hey guys. Wow, that guy was really macho. It's like, you're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
You kind of want to come up on that.
Oh, mic's going down. All right. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of 100% Real. I am Chevonne Hughes, your host, and in studio, I have a couple of other hosts with me, some lovely ladies to my left.
Hi, I'm Lina Green.
And I'm Erica J. Green.
All right.
She's like, okay.
I just had to
Let's
point
just go.
out this lovely sailor attire.
Nautical theme.
So on 4th of July, I have my little...
She's so excited about the 4th of July. She's like super excited. I am too, but I'm not like on her level.
Red, white, and blue
Excitement.
all day, all night. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing the new film, Think Like a Man 2.
Which is a great film to see for the 4th of July because, you know, the
Really?
fireworks. Yeah, they have like fireworks.
Yeah.
It's a great family film or
You're
any
like
film to
telling
see.
me.
They've seen the film. Like, everybody's
It's not a huge spoiler, but...
no.
Yeah, so Think Like a Man 2, the film is a sequel to Think Like a Man, which is based on the Steve Harvey book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man.
Yeah. That's crazy that they made like 2 films
Off that.
off a book.
But it's okay because this one doesn't really have too much to do with the book.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what Steve Harvey's thinking. Like, he's been divorced how many times and all this other
No
stuff.
one cares to mention that.
No comment on Steve Harvey.
But anyway, so the film takes place, it's a couple's in Vegas getting ready for a wedding. But the plans for the romantic wedding go awry when various misadventures happen. Woo, some misadventures. Like in jail, stripping, or quasi-stripping.
Your typical Las Vegas vacation,
Yeah, like
basically. Not for
The
me.
Hangover 2, 1, 2, 3,
That did.
Bridesmaids.
It was reminiscent of those films, like
Yeah.
the whole going to Vegas, having a crazy time.
Right.
Which, when I'm their age, which they all look good, I'm
yeah.
hoping
Oh my
to still be
gosh.
getting down like that because
Right.
they was partying and they all look amazing. Like they're all like over 40s, like most of them.
Are they?
Except
Yeah.
Megan Good or in Lala, they're in their 30s.
Well,
But
black don't crack, so,
Yeah.
you know. And let's not, I mean, like the music video, the ladies were just,
That was
I mean,
hilarious.
they were the star of the show. I mean, the guys were great. Kevin Hart was great, but the girls were just
I love
killing
Regina
it.
Hall.
So the film stars Kevin Hart as Cedric.
he's killing it this year. No,
He
he's
is.
going to be killing it for the next 5
He
years.
was killing it last year, and now he's killing it even more this year. I mean, he's just
There's
hilarious.
yeah, they said he is the highest paid African American actor besides
Not just comedian, actor.
Besides Will Smith. Well, Will Smith is the highest.
yeah.
But he's like right under that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
What about Denzel? Even Denzel?
I mean,
But Denzel's selective in his films. Like
Yeah.
Kevin Hart has pushed out like 3 films
I know.
this year alone. So it's
the
like
man probably never sleeps.
whatever.
He can just rest it
Winning
on
right
some
now.
some dollar bills and $100 bills, and he's fine. Doesn't matter.
He got so much energy.
Right. Oh my goodness! And as we all see, yes, he does in this film. We also have Taraji P. Henson as Lauren,
Academy
Oh,
Award
yes.
winning, not winner, but nominee.
nominated.
Beautiful.
And she is coupled up with Michael Ealy, who plays Dominic.
Michael Ealy.
Oh,
Oof. You know, I've never looked.
visceral reaction over there.
I've never looked at him like that before,
Yeah.
but in this film, he was giving it to me.
Oh,
I like his laid backness.
Right.
He's such a pretty boy, but with the laid backness, it really works.
He's very quiet. I remember. Did y'all remember that? Their Eyes Were Watching God with Halle Berry.
Yes.
Yes, that was when I kind of fell in love with him.
Really?
And then, yeah.
I don't remember him in there.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy role.
Wow, I don't remember him in any of his previous films.
What about Barbershop?
No. I don't remember him in any films, but in this film, I was going, oh, hurt me, like the whole time. They kept showing him. I was like, God,
The thirst is real.
The thirst is real.
he was falling.
Well, in this film, he and Lauren have a big decision to make, so we'll talk about that later. We also have the beautiful Gabrielle Union
yes.
as Kristen. I don't know. It's really funny. It's really funny. She has this like nerdy kind of quality about her in this movie.
Gabrielle,
Next door,
I think she's that girl who's like any guy can relate to. She's such a guy's girl.
Right.
To me. I love
And
Gabrielle.
sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite scenes of hers was the role play.
The wig.
I am Daenerys.
I think they went over the top on that part. It was overkill. I was like, really?
It's because I'm such a Game of Thrones nerd, so I was dying. And then all the black folks in my theater were like, what?
I'm like, I'm just now gonna start watching Game of Thrones, but that was just like, come on.
And she's paired up with Jerry Ferrera's Jeremy, who's kind of like the man child.
What the man child?
Man child. He doesn't want to grow up. Looks very good. His weight loss looks phenomenal on him. And then we also have the fabulous Regina Hall as Candace.
She's an amazing actress.
She's so funny.
She's so funny and so natural. Amazing.
Like I remember her from what was it? One of the
Scary
all the
movies?
scary movies.
Yeah.
That chick is her comedic timing is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
She's underrated. I think she's a comedic genius, and I don't really feel like people take notice of that yet.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
slowly making her way with the last Kevin Hart movie that she did. Oh my gosh, she outshined Kevin. I have to say
That was about last night, right?
About
last
last night. Oh
night.
my gosh.
Oh goodness.
Everyone in that movie.
There seems to be like this like little like canon
Group.
of actors
Yeah, I
that
just
I like
realized
Judd Apatow and how it's like all these people work together, which
Yeah.
oh god, it would be amazing to be a part of.
Yeah, but I feel like in these black films, they're starting to be like the same people. I hope they
filter some new people in.
Yeah, filter some new. Filter some new people in there. A few
If
times.
y'all didn't know, all three of us are working actors.
Yeah, just call us whenever you
Available
need
for
like
hire.
some. You know,
Think Like a Man 2.
3.
And she's paired up with Terrence J. Jenkins as Michael, the mama's boy.
He was so great in this film.
I think
so
I wouldn't say
adorable.
he was great, but I think he did a good job for like.
His role in this film, I thought he
He had a
did
really big role in this film.
Yeah.
And this was, I think he did good. Just
And he looked good in those little chaps or
he
whatever. the heck
was
was
so
wearing in
cute.
He's adorable.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
He's adorbs.
And we have Megan Good as Maya.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I saw her at church the other day, and she had no makeup on, and her hair pulled back. I was like, beautiful. She was just something. We was feeling like we was Jesus in
Right.
all day, but I was like,
She really commits to every role that I've seen her in. I mean, beyond being just beautiful, she's a really great actress that I think we've yet to really see the great work that she's going to produce.
I just
I'm
remember her from
excited
East
to see.
Bayou.
Yeah.
that's what everyone. That was
so
her. That's
good in that. I want
was
to see her
ridiculous.
more roles like that,
Yeah.
like a juicy role.
Well,
that
how
she
was
could really-
I didn't get a chance to see that show she had on NBC. Which
I
sadly
didn't
was
watch.
canceled.
Yeah, I didn't get
Yeah,
to see
it
it
was
either.
canceled.
Maybe we're the reason it got canceled. None of us were looking at it.
Well, it was a lot. There was a lot. The way they shot
not
it
new
was
shows
weird.
out too. Though.
Yeah.
But she's been acting since she was a child, and like she took a year off and came back, and she got a role immediately when she came back. That just said a lot about her,
Right.
like
Yeah.
chops and stuff.
And
We'll
she
see
was
her. We'll see her.
Yeah,
Trust.
and she was also just in like on the blogs recently for saying because her husband is Devon Franklin, right?
yeah.
Devon,
Yeah,
Devon.
Devon.
Sorry, Devon.
Devon.
Devon. And she was talking about how she's okay with being submissive to her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm okay with being. I'd be okay with being submissive.
Yeah, right. It's so funny because it's completely different from her character. Her character is kind of like strong-willed, just not gonna take any.
Their relationship
business.
is so beautiful, though. They
It's
were
cute.
so cute when I saw them. They were kissing. I was like, oh.
You dropped something, Lena. A name.
I'm just okay. We was at church. Anyway,
And she's paired up with Romany Malco as Zeke the Freak.
what else has he been in?
Weeds.
Oh, really? On the television show.
He was on there for like 3 seasons, I think.
Wow.
I could be wrong, maybe 2 or 3 seasons.
Just his presence in the film, I was like, he has to be like a working actor.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think he's one of the. I don't see him in any other quote unquote black films. So he maybe he's one of the newer ones being sprinkled in.
Yeah.
But you know,
you better get like
really
Anthony Mackie and
Right.
get up in
Oh
them
my
blockbusters.
goodness.
You better do it.
oh, Anthony Mackie, don't even get me started on him.
Ew. No.
Well, that's okay, more for me. And then we have Wendy McClendon Covey as Tish. who we remember from our last
Yes.
show, Single Moms Club.
She's
just
really
great.
good in that movie. I like her.
She's great in every film.
She's
and like she's
hilarious.
just a funny actress. I
Yeah,
love her.
and who we see has a great, what is that, like a left jab she had in the film out of nowhere.
I don't know why they added that part.
And her rapping prowess was just like, it was like reminiscent of like a Missy Elliott video from
I really
late
loved her
90s.
character.
That was
in this
interesting.
film.
I want to talk when we get on that music video. I want to talk
wanna talk about that? Okay.
Because I was confused at first. I was like,
yeah, it was kind of out of
liked
nowhere.
Yeah,
but the
like-
girls seem to be having fun, so like I like seeing my performers have fun.
Yeah.
And then she's paired up with Gary Owen as Bennett.
He's funny. He's a comedian.
goofy
He's
guy.
hilarious. He really is.
What was I going to say about him? We didn't really see much of him last show. I mean,
Last movie?
The last movie.
He's kind of like the wingman that just comes in with the funny corpse and
Right,
he's the comedic relief.
I thought he played his part beautifully, and he was really
Yeah,
good.
I agree.
Enjoyed him.
Well, with the sequel,
Wait, you didn't say Adam Brody?
well, he was.
I
more
love
like-
Adam Brody.
He
I
was
know.
more. Well, then we had to say David Walton too. They were
Okay.
both supporting.
But I
were really
for some reason, they
funny.
were really good to me.
45 minutes. I love them, but they were in the.
But they were
the main
really,
cast.
they like, I love when an actor can come and do a small part and really make
Yeah.
it good. And he's so hot. I think Adam Brody's so hot.
I'm into David Walton
Wait,
too.
we missed someone else. Lala Vasquez.
Yeah,
Lala
again, I
was
was
so
doing the
smart.
support. I was
Okay.
really the supporting, but we could speak
Well,
on
she does
Lala.
the press junkets, so I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe she's
I know,
just
when
as
she,
much as
before I saw the movie, I was like,
lead.
oh, she's going to be a huge
That's
part.
what I thought too.
It was really small.
But she was
surprising.
in every, she didn't say a lot, but she was pretty much in a lot of the scenes because she was
Right.
there with them in Vegas. So I guess they consider
Do you
her
think
to
she
be-
was in the previous movie more or this one?
She was in the previous movie more,
Yeah.
but
That's what I think too.
I think they were like, we gonna make it a little bit small this time. Just go at least so you can handle that. Just a little bit
so
smaller.
you think it was maybe a reaction to her performance and then the last?
I
film?
wouldn't say. I think they've kind of conduced a lot of people's roles. Gabrielle Union to me wasn't that much of a pivotal
No, they
part
made
of it.
everybody else's role the same, but I feel like
Regina
they.
Hall and Terrence J.
Well, it was their
like,
wedding.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was kind of about them,
Yeah,
but
and Kevin Hart. It was a lot
Oh
about
God,
him too.
it was the Kevin Hart show, but we can talk about that in a second.
it was kind of the Kevin
It
Hart
was
show.
Kevin Hart show. Well, with every sequel, the comparisons as we've been doing, there's a comparison to the previous or the original film. So we were talking about a little bit the characters and like how much screen time they were getting in their story. Like, do you guys felt that maybe their character developed a little bit more, maybe they grew, or maybe they just kind of like stagnant, just the same as they were in the last film?
I'm trying to remember now.
The last one, yeah.
I mean, even from like some of the reviews that I was reading, there was no real growth. I mean, they gave them different situations, but the character growth wasn't really evident.
Right.
No, they evolved within their relationships, is what they.
But that's
went
not
for
character
more.
growth.
Oh, you're talking about the characters,
The characters
the
as
actors
themselves.
playing them.
The characters growth.
Well, I think they were focused more on relationships in this film, like with the wedding. So they focused more on each individual group, the pairs,
Right.
couples relationship,
Yeah.
instead of like growing the characters. As I saw from what I mean, they did with Romney.
Romney,
he kind of
yeah,
was the
Zeke.
playboy, and he's
Yeah.
trying to prove now that he's not that.
He definitely grew up.
Yeah, but when you go to movies and you see a film, you want to see the character arc. You want to see the arc in the character
I
and
think
where
this
it's
was
going.
just a fun film. I don't think they were trying to make it like some type of deep.
But unfortunately, that's the magic, the movie magic.
Yeah.
That's what makes us come
They
back.
got me.
I
I
think
like
it was a great movie, but that could have been
Right.
expanded on.
And and even like Cedric or Kevin Hart's character, like he was basically the same.
Yeah.
Like as Gail Zilla was calling him a drunk Muppet, which had
Oh,
me
yeah.
rolling.
They
Yeah.
reconciled at the end of the last film, so I was kind of confused to see them coming back to that same.
Well, I think that their thing is just like they're on and off, on and off, on and off. Because if he was I like having one single character because all these couples can make it kind of one note.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to have this single fool running around causing mischief and
But he wasn't single. Like, that's what was confused. Like, she was out with Drake.
but they were broken up at that.
So they were broken up.
Well,
but
like they were on a break. I don't know, but she was like the interior designer of Drake, or was she like with
I
Drake?
have no idea. I just
know why Drake
live-
was in the film.
That's what I.
Wait, say that word again. Who are you?
he was in the neighborhood.
How do
when
y'all
they were
think
filming.
Drake did? Hey Hey, Drake, come on in here. Do we need a light-skinned brother up in here?
We all know that Drake can perform. I'm not sure if you guys saw his SNL, but he deserves to be on
He's
SNL.
funny.
Like, as a
Did
regular.
you? Oh my God! And he did this thing where he was going around asking people if they liked him, and he was in a.
Oh no!
It was hilarious. His ego is on 100. Like I'm like, really?
Drake's not even. Why are we talking about that?
Yeah,
Because he was in the film.
Yeah.
A surprise in the film.
Yeah, and also too different from the first film is we don't have a lot of the book, like as I mentioned before, like little aspects, not too much, maybe towards the end. And in the first one, Steve Harvey was kind of like the his little interviews were kind of like
Segues.
or like the Greek chorus of the film, and
Yeah.
then now we have Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart
Kevin
show.
He's making the money.
right.
He's
I wonder if he got like a producer credit for this. Like he might have gotten his.
I mean,
raise.
when
probably the box office
when
draw.
someone is a box office
Yeah.
hit over and over again, they're going to make it about it. People ain't dumb.
Right.
They're going to make it about him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, he kind of talked a little bit at the end of like, some of the themes of the book, like what's important, love or career, or in order to get into your future, you need to forget your past and blah, 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 blah.
Which is, you know what, that made me think. And I like to think when I'm watching a film and when they talk, me personally, I would choose my career. Not that I would choose my career over love, but it would have to be like.
It's the smarter decision.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying you can make both of them
Work.
work if you
Yeah.
really love someone and that
Right.
person really
Yeah.
loves you too.
And with
but-
their jobs they were going to be getting, they could have flown back and forth.
Yeah, they
really
was
could have
both hard.
There's
Yeah.
Skype for a reason. There's a telephone
I'm
for
like,
a
I don't know
reason.
about that.
I'm glad you said because geography should not be an equation in relationships.
Nowadays, yeah.
Nowadays you get a private. They could have afford
Right.
a private jet.
Right.
When do you know a black woman getting promoted to a COO of a Fortune 500 company? Now, and she's
And she
gonna
don't
pass
turn that down for
That
a
was silly.
relationship. Girl,
For
please.
love. I'm sorry.
Also, like Jerry Ferreira, he had an interview where he was asked that question, like, what do you choose? Do you choose love or your career? And he said, well, when you're young, I think it's more about your career. You're still trying to establish yourself. But once you've established yourself, when you're older, some things are more important now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but ain't nobody
But
coming
still a
out.
Yeah.
CEO.
Ain't nobody.
And then he's been wanting to be a chef. How hard he worked.
I know.
It did, like, so what they gonna do now? They gonna get together
Yeah.
and just sit around looking at each other? Girl, please.
Be exactly
take
where
care
they
of
were.
you. Oh my
At least
God.
one of them should have taken the job. And
Yeah.
then, met the other one.
Baby, I got your back. No, I got your back.
Baby, I could be a chef anywhere. Like, you can help me open my restaurant. Like, if you thought that out.
See that?
If you thought that out.
Obviously, the Kevin Hart show. Do we enjoy the Kevin Hart show, or do we need to put it down with a little less?
I don't.
Let's just go down the road.
Okay, I personally do not like in-your-face comedy. I like subtle comedy that makes, I like it to creep up on you. Then it's like, oh, I thought, then it's like, haha, that's funny.
Right.
It was a lot, but it was entertaining. Like, Kevin Hart entertains.
Well, that's what we go to Kevin Hart for.
Yeah.
So, Kevin Hart is undeniably funny. We know that. Kevin Hart, you're hilarious. We think everyone laughs at your jokes. But it was so much and so over the top. I mean, even like the little things he does with his characters and his mannerisms are a lot. So then like making a lot of the movie about that,
Right.
I was just like, let's pull back. I want to
But-
see. Maybe if they had a story, maybe if he like came with somebody, was trying to court someone. I don't know. Maybe if there
That
was
would have
more
been
of
a good
story
idea.
around
Yeah.
it.
Have like a girlfriend or something.
Something that could have brought him back every time he was like going.
But they did. The characters kind of pointed out. They was like, you making this about you. And I think they knew that. It wasn't like a thing that wasn't conscious. It wasn't like the audience is the only one who noticed that.
Right.
Even the characters within the story.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful moment at the end, though. Whenever they put the camera on him when he gave the ring.
Oh,
and he was
yeah,
like, I did that.
That was
like, oh,
beautiful.
it was really
I think I shed a
cute.
tear. Like,
Oh yeah, I know. I cried when old girl was sitting on the steps.
Regina, yeah, I cried. I
was like,
cried.
like, in the movie theater, I'm always very conscious. I'm like, nobody can see me, right?
I
y'all
cried
kidding
on
me?
that part too.
Wait, are y'all
yeah.
kidding me?
'Cause Regina Hall, it was
Like, think about
impactful.
it. Like, that's your moment. You're beautiful. You're getting ready to get married. And then, no,
Yeah.
not today. You
Yeah.
were late.
They kind of
You were in jail.
themselves.
But yeah, I mean, what it,
I thought overall it was a well done film. You know, in the past, I've kind of, our last film that we did, I wasn't too happy about the outcome of it.
yeah.
So I really just thought this was a film that any black, white, any actor could have played in, and I liked that play on it. Like, it wasn't just like a black
stereotype.
film. Yeah, it wasn't. It was just a fun film, and I
Right.
left there I left the movie theater like, oh man, that was nice. Like, I was really feeling
I paid
good.
$16 and I feel good about that $16 I spent.
Thank you. How expensive movies are out here.
Yeah.
Please give me something that makes me feel good when I walk
Yeah.
out, and I can see myself in it. So I really
And
enjoyed
like
that
it wasn't
about
like too goofy, and like I felt comfortable with it, and like all these people who are going, all these critics are going and thinking it's gonna be The Butler or something like tragic and deep.
Yeah. Did they really?
Well, I mean, from the some of the reviews that I was seeing, I don't know. I guess we'll talk about it later, but like. It was just kind of like, what did you guys come here to like get an education on something? Like, this is just like sit here, eat your damn popcorn and drink your soda.
Yeah, get a
And
drink
laugh.
before or after.
Had a drink or
And
two.
have a good time. Like, don't make it something that it's not, and then be disappointed when
Right.
it is what it is.
Well, what were some of the critics saying?
Okay, well, some of the critics, there was a lot of good audience reviews. Like, loved it. They came to see something that would entertain them, and they weren't disappointed. But on the critics side, like I was talking about the arc of the characters, they said they didn't see that. It wasn't stretched enough. And I guess when you're going in with a critic's eye, you're like really like
different, yeah.
you're honing in on certain things that you think would make a film,
Right.
amazing. But I think if they didn't hone in so much on that, they too would have enjoyed it. But they were giving it like 3 out of 10 stars, which I think was kind of unfair. Yeah. I thought it was kind of unfair, especially when I was comparing some of the reviews they were giving for like Transformers or
my
something.
God.
Which
I'm
I already
like,
heard. Like that, it just opened, right? And I already heard it's awful.
I'm not even interested in seeing it from just the previews. Like,
Right,
I'm
exactly.
like-
I don't even know the story.
But like,
anyway.
yeah, just some of the reviews, I'm like, come on, like, don't go into it. It is what it is. And like, they were just saying like, yeah, it was a feel-good film. They said Kevin Hart was great in it.
Yeah.
But some of them were like, but he was over the top.
Right.
But then if you know what Kevin Hart is, you know what you're getting.
That's
Yeah.
what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, just sitting in the movie theater, people were cracking up.
Right.
Like,
You know.
every other scene, people were just laughing.
Yelling
I
at the
was just like,
screen.
okay.
Depending on what movie theater you went to, you had yelling at the screen.
I was going to my Crenshaw theater.
I mean, you had
Like,
yelling at the screen.
Oddly enough, like I think because I went earlier in the day, people were really chill.
Really?
Yeah. Like I mean, there was like some clapping, like oh, there was none of the what I usually go to that theater for. Like when I like to see my horror films there because
I can't
Lord
with you.
Jesus,
because
no.
for me it's a part of my movie going experience. If I'm watching something deep, I don't want anyone talking. But
It made me, they was talking when the movie began. Think like a man too. Like y'all, I had to turn around a few times. Universal City Walk.
Yeah.
I'm like, if y'all don't be
goodness.
quiet, I'm trying to watch the movie. I paid $16 too.
that would never happen
Stop.
at the ArcLight.
We were gonna go there. Too far. The Groves, too far.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, I wanted to just finish on the reviews.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So I mean, most of the reviews were good from the audience, which that's what matters. That's where the money is coming from. So if you're talking about a blockbuster, Sony won.
Right.
And do you want me to just go into like the numbers and stuff?
Yeah, please. Let's
So
just hear it.
basically, the film only costs, when you have these comedies like that, which these are the moneymakers, and people are starting to realize that you're adding up the math. What's going to be not so costly, yet give you a big turnout? Comedies.
Right.
What they're finding out now is African American comedies.
Right.
Done well.
Done very well. This film only costs $24 million, around that. But already brought in over 90 million.
Wow.
And that's not yet. Well, that's not talking about when it goes to Redbox and
Right.
stuff. People are going to want to see this
Yes.
on that. I promise you, this is a film that people are going to buy on DVD.
Do you think it could still make money though overseas?
You know what? That's an
I think in the Asian
interesting-
cultures maybe because Asian cultures they're so into
Gravitate
black
toward-
You know what?
culture now.
Yeah.
So
That's an interesting question. I'm interested to see how it did. I'm gonna.
We should watch
fact,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna watch the trend overseas because usually when movies do good overseas, they like the big blockbusters,
Yeah.
and then they have people who are over like of
But
that.
I think it's also
culture
whatever
in
the U.S. we start like, and if they see that it's so popular here, it's like, okay, we're gonna check that out.
Right.
Comedies
kinda
usually,
jump on
but romantic comedies usually don't do as well overseas. But this one had a lot of thrill.
Yeah.
So maybe they could like it. But usually it's not the vein that most overseas markets go for.
Right.
So, but I'm interested to see. I hope so, because
Yeah.
this could start a trend. This could be.
yeah.
Call us. And the marketing they did, I didn't see a lot of billboards.
No,
as
it
you would
was
see.
everywhere.
Really? I
Everywhere
didn't see. Did you see a lot?
Well, I saw a lot of like online, like on my Hulu,
Online.
or like
No,
you know.
I saw
Really?
billboards I live in North Hollywood. I saw billboards all up and down. I don't know if that's just where people market movies at a lot because that's more the artsy
Right.
group of people. But I just saw billboards every time I turned around.
It could
with
have
them
also
at
been like the demographic of where like you know, different cities.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I'm gonna see billboards for Think Like a Man 2 in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, they were definitely along Crenshaw.
Yeah. Hey, that's their demographic. You know,
No,
don't
because that's the demographic they go for and
Yeah.
stuff.
It was all in North
But a
Hollywood.
lot of it was the actors. You have some very popular and notable
Yeah.
actors in this film, and they were tweeting. You know, online marketing is the huge thing, and
Social media.
these social
Oh, yeah.
media is the new big thing. I'm talking about they were Instagramming it up. They
I
were
saw.
tweeting it up. Like,
Look,
come
I'm
check
fun.
out our film. You know,
They were
my
making
fans.
surprise visits the opening
Which is
week
a new
in
thing.
really?
Yeah, yeah. That's a new
Which
thing. They did
huge
that for
march.
another what's that last huge film that came out? The Christmas not the-
Oh, yeah, the
Nativity?
Christmas.
Black Nativity?
No.
the Christmas one with
Not the-
Nia Long and all of them.
it's not a Christmas film.
Best Man Holiday.
They came to
that's
our
not-
theater and I was like, oh Lord.
That's
what's
a new,
you- I
huge
was like, that's a
marketing,
new
yeah.
thing that they're doing. Having the actors go to the where they know it's sold out,
Right.
and meet the people who are there and saying thank you for coming out.
Do
and
they come
supporting
out like
us."
right before the show happens?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like, okay.
and it's usually at ArcLight. It's
Big,
usually
big
at
ones.
the
Yeah.
big ones.
They
that are
tweet
sold out
about
and
that.
stuff.
They put it on their.
I
social
would love for
media,
them
yeah.
to like just come in and just sit randomly sprinkled throughout.
That has
and then
been-
you look to your left, you're like, take this.
And that's funny, but that was so like I'd be like, I wouldn't be able to watch the movie because I have to laugh and make sure that they feel like I'm loving
Yeah,
them.
Listen,
pressure.
I don't care. I would be laughing, I'm chuckling. As long as I can sit next to my Keely.
My hand on his lap.
Adam Brody, you can get Adam Brody in there.
No.
Can I get my
Michael
David
right here,
Walton?
But yeah, but overall, I think the reviews were well received. Just
Yeah.
critics are critics.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, basically.
It is what it is,
They're going to
yeah.
be critical on some things, but I think overall they like the movie.
That's good. Well, we need maybe we'll see a Think Like a Man 3.
That's what I wanted
How are
to.
we
I
gonna
want to
stretch
talk about
this
that in the
anymore?
end.
Everybody is gonna have a movie with their wedding.
Well,
I mean, that's
because it's really about just
Relationships, the
relationships,
baby,
yeah, and,
like,
like
that's-
steps.
yeah.
So yeah, the baby will be coming, and you know, maybe there's someone's marriage is in trouble. You know, there's
if y'all
so many
need
ways
someone
we
to
can
be
go.
with Kevin Hart, I volunteer. Fine.
You know they're gonna keep Wendy in there though.
She can be with
her as
Drake.
Part of it. I like Wendy.
I thought she was gonna be in it more. I was like,
Yeah.
please let her be in it
I'm
more because I would love
sorry,
to see her
I
perform.
didn't really
Care
like
to have her?
in here.
What she did for the
It
film, I
was
liked
so loud. It was
yeah.
a lot of screaming because
Right.
they had made that a little bit realistic. Like,
Right.
her, what are you doing?
gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you. Like, I didn't need to.
But that's Wendy on her show. She's
yeah,
over the top. And
yeah,
why
no.
bring her
Yeah.
down?
It's like these two people, Kevin Hart and Wendy Williams. We know what they're good for.
Yeah.
And they just put them on screen and let them do that.
Yeah,
so,
I
you
don't
know.
know. Yeah.
but-
Smart.
But do you like Wendy Williams' show?
No.
So there you go. It's fine. It's all right.
I like, I've watched it a few times, but it's just very appealing to like just celebrity gossip, and I don't care to just spend my day listening to that all day.
Oh, she's so above it.
Right.
Oh, I'm not, but
And with the numbers also too that we saw that you mentioned, do you think that it might have been like a little bit of a crossover, like maybe like white audiences or other ethnicities were starting to watch it?
I think there
There
was
were a lot
li-
in my movie theater. There were.
Yeah.
I think it was more other ethnicities than just black. I think we were like kind of the minority.
and
in the
it's
movie
because
theater.
it was a comedy,
Right.
and Kevin Hart has. I
They
think
love Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart can
Everyone
bring
loves
in a
Kevin Hart.
diverse
Right.
audience, and that's what he's good for.
Yeah.
Selling tickets and bringing in filling those seats.
So that really excites me because if we can just stop, like even Kevin Hart himself has said that like, I really hope that we can stop having black films.
Of course, yeah.
Because I just want it to be a film, what I liked about Think Like a Man 2 is that we saw those sprinklings of, other ethnicities, mostly white. I think it was just white, extra white people, which, yes, they might have been a caricature of, the corny, like,
The frat bro- That was hilarious.
Yeah,
He
frat
was like,
brothers.
my frat
That was
brother.
hilarious.
But if you think about it,
though.
switch the other way around, like when black folks come into like a white movie, they're that character too. So I don't know. It's really exciting because it wasn't like a big thing. And once we start integrating these other actors that are popular in other markets, then, you know, the whole thing's just going to blow up.
Yeah, believe it or not, there was criticism with them sprinkling in white
from
actors
black folks?
Yes.
Oh, come on,
to me, I'm like, let's not take a step
What was the
forward
criticism?
and then take a step back. If they were criticized, I mean, we all know about the Essence controversy that went on.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and roll into that, or
We can
Yeah,
talk about
go
that,
ahead.
but just saying there were people who were saying, "What's happening to the black film? Why do we have to have that?
what do they mean? What's happening?
Well, where there's an all black cast, how much do we hark on when there's an all white cast? So
Yeah.
why do we have to have a film that has only a all black cast? I thought it was great seeing these other characters that weren't, that weren't black. You know, if we had some other ethnicities, it would have been great.
Right.
Why do we have to when are we going to stop looking at color and just cast the right person, the funny person, the great person, the great actor for the role?
Right.
So it's just, but to me, when I read that there was criticism on the 3 or 4 white people that were in the film, I was just like, no, we were making progress. Please
yeah, we're
don't pull
taking
us
2 steps
back.
forward, then a step back. But I feel like there's still going to be progress. It was a #1 film.
Yeah.
In America.
It beat out.
Yeah, it beat out.
What did it beat? It beat out something that was supposed to be number or
It beat out that children's movie. Those are gold mines in themselves.
yeah. I forget what it was, but yeah, that
yeah.
was like a big upset.
And they didn't say like the last film that was #1. They didn't say black film #1. It was just like this film is #1. So I feel like we're making strides.
We're making strides.
We're making strides.
With criticism,
There'll always be criticism. People need something to whine about and huff and puff about. There will always be criticism.
Reparations.
There will always. No one's gonna be
whatever.
happy. Everybody. You can't make everybody happy.
So let's get into the Essence magazine controversy. What are y'all thoughts on that? That they put most of the majority cast that were the leads on the covers of the magazine, but left out their Caucasian castmates.
Well, Essence is a black magazine. And it's an African American magazine. They've never had anyone other than African Americans on the cover of the magazine. So I don't see them changing that just to try to fit.
But now let's switch it up for one moment. Let's say it was
Vogue,
magazine,
GQ.
Let's say it was a GQ or Vogue or a huge magazine, People's or anything like that was promoting a film that had a majority white cast and had some like Viola Davis in it, some of our more known black actors.
But you're talking about
in there, and they were left out.
Right.
We would have
Which actually happened with Vanity Fair. I remember there was one, they every now and then do these little spreads, like
and they cut,
they left out all the like black actresses when it had all these like Hollywood white actresses on
They put them on the fold.
They put them on the fold on the back of it.
Yeah, and so
we have a field day with that. But why is it okay to? Are we doing tick for tack? Is that what we're doing?
Well, the thing is, I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying I'm for that. They should have put, especially the
Jeremy.
They usually put anybody of multi culture on it. I don't even know what. Anybody of color. They usually put anybody of color on it. So that, I don't know why they left them out. I could see why they left out the 2 Caucasian people, because they usually only put people of, that's what the magazine is. If you look up Essence, that's what they are. They are for people of color, not. But I understand what y'all are saying, but that is what the magazine is. Like, it's not, Vogue is not just for people.
Well, now that we're having it starting to hopefully now become more mixed, this media and the genres and whatever, because like BET and like, Jet Magazine, Essence, all those things were as a result of us being left out. So now that we're starting to become more mainstream, is it kind of like just creating another divide by...
It's a niche magazine. And when you are geared toward a niche, you're going to do what you've been doing. You're not going to change it up because, because.
I totally hear everyone's for this. Okay. I read someone said they put black people first. I love it. We kind of do have to stick out for one each other, but that's not going to be the future. There are so many people who are not just one ethnicity.
Yeah.
So are we going to continue with this trend of leaving people out because we feel like it's a niche and we should be going one way, when in the future there's not going to only be one way?
Right. There's not.
So there's going to have to be a time where Essence and every other magazine is going to have to say, hey, we got to start getting with the today.
Yeah.
Our president is not black and he's not white. Right. So we're going to leave half of them off. That's, to me, I can't see the ideology of that. But I just can't see it.
But again, Essence is
I
a black
understand
man.
that,
We have
yes.
Vogue.
But
We have Cosmo that's gonna put everybody on their
They're
covers.
gonna
They
have
have
to
Lupita.
evolve.
They have everybody. Essence is just that's what they are. They are a magazine for people of color. That's
But
just
we want to praise the other magazines when they step outside their boundaries and put Lupita on the front
Right.
cover. Can we get a little praise because we do the same?
Right.
Because we're not one-sided and one
I
track.
don't
There's so many African Americans that could get stuck in that niche, and we're going to bring up more and more if we just continue to think like that. I can only have this color friend, and I can only read this magazine.
Well,
No,
even
let's open
Gary
it up.
Owen himself, when he was asked about, he's like, how do you feel about being left off? He's like, well, I actually didn't really know about it until it was brought to my attention.
Yeah.
But I am happy that we're in a place in the world where that is a problem for people. What
If
people
that's
are
the only
upset
problem, yeah.
about, they're upset about a white man being left off of, or the fact that, like, I mean, even some black folks were upset about it. Why isn't he on there? You know, so and his wife is black, so it's just like,
Oh,
you know,
I
know that.
Yeah, he likes that chocolate. She was in Gary
offended.
Owen's
She's like,
comedy.
my husband's not
Well,
on
my
here.
baby ain't on this magazine.
His wife reads Essence. I'm sure she's picked up Essence magazine. So that's, to me, if I was his wife, I would be a little bit offended. Whilst my husband, he was a main part of the cast. You had people who weren't less of a main part of the cast that were on there. So
we're not gonna say names, but
Thought we need Adam Brody on the damn Essence.
he's sexy.
I don't understand. I'm
put Adam Brody
trying
on
to
there.
understand it, but I don't.
Well, I think it again. It is a niche magazine, so if they were to change that, that would be sometime in the future. But they have to appeal to their audience, and their audience.
The future is now. Let's start now.
Do we know for a fact they've never had anybody white on there?
They've never had anybody
I'm
who was not of.
sure.
They've had people who were not black. They've never had anybody who was just Caucasian. You have to be of of some kind of, color.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Minority.
that's just because there's so many magazines. That's what they went for.
Right.
It's a niche magazine. So it's like Jet. Like those are niche magazines.
Excuses come in all types of shades.
I'm not making any excuses. I'm just saying they're niche magazines. It wouldn't make sense for them to do what every other magazine's doing.
All I'm saying, because I don't want to even hark on this, because
I'm
said,
kinda
like,
killing
if that's
it.
our problem.
I'm over it.
Then, I'm just saying, I would love to see some growth.
Right.
In the future. That's all I'm saying. If you have a cast, let's put the whole cast. It's that simple. You think of somebody going, I don't want to read this. They put one white person or two white. No, I'm like, okay, this is nice. It's the whole cast.
Well, I would like to get to a point where we're not making everything a
About
big thing.
color,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God, like we like, can we just like go on our lives?
Keep
and
it
not-
moving.
Which sadly, I don't know if you guys took a look. I'm a big watcher of the boards on IMDb for films that I like, and I was reading the boards for Think Like a Man too, and it is just race all over there,
Really?
all up and down, and surprisingly, like it's like really negative, nasty stuff.
What are they saying?
Just saying like there are some racial slurs, like just I don't want to go into too many details, but I just
About
remember being
the film or the characters?
about the film, like see all these jungle bunnies, and I'm just like, I was like, this is what's wrong with the
IMDb?
internet. Yeah, well, I'm surprised some of these things
They
haven't
didn't
been
take-
flagged. But it's just like the internet just brings out, because everyone thinks it's so anonymous, which it can be, but
It's not.
Brings out
the
Like, did you hear what
ignorance.
Iggy just got flagged for some of the racial things that she was saying on a Twitter a long time ago before she was
I'm all ears.
Iggy.
What happened?
So
What is that?
that stuff is not anonymous, and people are going to be ignorant.
Right.
That does not bother me, and it doesn't bother like people like Samuel Jackson when they ask him a question during an interview, and they're like, "What do you think about them saying that it's been a hard road for black?" He was like, "Look at me, I'm here.
Right.
I'm rich.
I got money."
Like, you need to get that out of your mind frame.
Right.
We're all human beings,
Right.
just trying to live our dream. Like,
I love
get it
me
out
some
of your
Sam
mind.
Jackson
Yeah.
too. Well, let me ask you, ladies, what were your favorite scenes in the film?
My favorite scene was, I like the Megan Good scene where he gets in the water. It was just so
yes.
romantic. It was really nice.
I was hoping he had taken his wallet out and his phone out first. It would have been less romantic, but it would have been more practical.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't have it on him, but that was such a nice scene. And then this player becoming a man.
Yeah.
And going to his woman saying, I want to be with you. And that ring he got, that was a beautiful ring.
That was a canary
He did-
yellow.
That was a canary
I
yellow.
was like, hold on,
He
let
did
me
good.
open this up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You did good.
You don't even say anything.
I was
Yes.
like, he did good with that
Yeah.
ring.
I personally, I loved the music video. I mean, it didn't really have a point to be in there.
Right.
And you didn't know it was a music video to the end, but it was just so fun, and it was hilarious. Just
I had
them-
heard that they wanted to originally do an In Vogue song. I forgot which one. I think it was Free Your Mind.
Free your mind.
Oh, that would have been right.
Something.
That would have been. It would have been great to get the guys having their own.
Oh,
little
yeah.
moment,
Yeah, that
like,
would've been
about
nice.
something really
Look at Man
fun.
3, it's coming.
I think there will be.
Oh yeah,
As
I think
well
there
as
is.
this
Yeah,
film does, yes, it's
because
going
with
to
Black
be.
Man Holiday, you want
You
to know why I said that? Because I went to this thing at the Hollywood Black Film Festival, and the director was there, and this dude got up and he was so nervous, and he was like, so Black Man Holiday, everyone went, ooh. And so now when I hear Best Man, I think Black Man Holiday because it was just so.
I'm done.
It was so
Lord have
awful
mercy.
in front of the direct. It was just so bad.
I
And-
mean, it was a slip of a Freudian slip.
I know, but
Freudian
it was
slip.
just, but it was a black young
slip.
black man saying it, so it wasn't like it was anything, you know.
my
But it was just like,
God.
so on Black Man Holiday, you would what?
Did it get quiet?
And he didn't understand what it's like.
I can't.
I don't understand.
Did I miss it? Did I say it
Yeah,
right?
because everyone was like, oh.
Y'all need to stop. People, I should just go like this to people. Stop
Right,
it.
stop it.
It's not that serious.
So in Best Man Holiday 2, or Best Man Holiday, and then Think Like a Man 2, we've seen that now these sequels are working,
and they're better.
and they're gonna they're just gonna drag it and they're just gonna keep doing
What
it. 'cause
other
that's what we
movies
do.
are there?
Look at Fast and Furious.
So I'm saying, those are not good.
What if
They're
they
the
make?
most grossing movies with diverse
Yeah,
cast.
but look at their demographic. It's little 14 to 18-year-old adolescent boys who, you know.
There's a lot of
money
people who
then.
love those films.
But what film you were talking
What if they made a Love and Basketball too?
I think they are.
nice.
Or
Oh,
I think they are.
I think they should.
They're bringing back all the old films that were like Love and Basketball, Love Jones. I think there's all this talk now
Jones was nice.
about bringing on sequels. So you might be in luck, girly.
Could I play someone in a sequel?
accent.
Tangeray.
I don't know. Maybe in a couple years we might be cast in one of those films.
Maybe we'll start our own movie that's gonna. have a sequel
I
in
am.
10 years
It
from now.
makes me optimistic for the future, and I'm happy to see films like this come about. That
Yes.
I can leave the theater feeling good. Like,
Right.
wow, this was a good film. High five.
High five.
I even snuck some pizza.
What was
in.
it? It was the Tim Story. High five, Tim Story.
She did.
He's the director.
I snuck in a slice of pizza.
That's okay. I'll bring in sometimes
Shaking my
Chipotle.
head and some lime.
You don't stick in food? Listen, I'm sorry.
I can't.
Those popcorns are so expensive.
Guys, y'all bringing us back. We took 2 steps forward, and now we're going 2
Listen.
steps back.
White folks do it too. They bring in their Skittles and their M&Ms.
They weren't.
I
checking
bring in
bags.
Chipotle. What's the difference?
I can't.
They weren't checking bags.
So something else I think we should just touch on before we wrap it up. Do y'all see a new trend with them doing away with, just predominantly all black cast films?
All black, all white. I think that's gonna because America's changing.
Do we like it?
I love it. Yeah.
Well,
Adds
who
more
wouldn't?
flavor.
It's realistic.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic to have all black cast and all white cast, all Chinese cast. That's That's not, especially in America. That's not what's realistic. And when we go to films, we want to be there for fantasy, but we also want to relate. We also want to feel like it's real,
Right.
and that's unrealistic in our country
We get it
today.
when it's
Right.
unrealistic.
It creates barriers to have this is only a black film. This is just a white film,
Yeah.
and it's definitely I definitely see it going away slowly but surely. Like when I saw Kim Kardashian in the what was that Temptation? I was like,
Well, she actually did kind of good in that.
yeah, I agree. She surprised the hell out of me. But I was like, okay, all right. And then I started seeing more like Eddie Cibrian and all, and and now we have what's that guy from Single Moms Club, the Latino guy, the gorgeous one.
Oh yeah, I can't. He's the commercial guy too.
Yeah, and and I noticed like how it's becoming mixed in the audiences with just the trailers at the beginning of the film. Like he has another one. He's Addicted.
Oh yeah.
With forget her
I can't
name.
remember.
But that looks good too.
Yeah.
So and a lot of other movies that I was seeing the trailers, they were all very mixed. Yes, they were predominantly Black, but they seem to have other ethnicities in the character roster. So.
Beautiful. We are seeing the future, guys.
Yes, we are.
And it is beautiful. Let's all hold hands.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
That was
Well, any last notes in the film that you want to talk about?
I'm excited for there to be, hopefully, for there to be, Will Packer, you make it happen and cast me. But I'm excited to see if there will be a number 3.
Yeah.
I give it 2 thumbs up. You get it?
I was just going to
Oh yeah. What? Okay. Yeah. What are our ratings?
I give it a B+.
I give it a A-.
I agree. A- or A. A strong A.
It's a
Strong A,
strong, yeah, because I had a good time and I wasn't mad about my $16.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
You gotta add that up.
Well, I feel really happy with our discussion. Like,
Good.
I feel good. I think we got a lot
You got a lot
out.
off your chest.
Yeah.
But now I feel
Because we're all like single moms club.
I was so angry, and now I feel good.
Well, this is a fun, uplifting. Just you can take your girls, take your boys. It's a good, all
a good
audience
vibe.
movie.
Yeah. I think I'll definitely pull in some more money, but let's go.
Definitely.
Let's go, people.
Let's do it.
money.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. This has been 100% Real. Yes. And I am Chevonne Hughes. You can catch me on Twitter at Chevonne_Hughes.
I'm Lina Green, and you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at just Lina Green. You hear that? You see I got professional.
Yeah, you
And
did.
I'm Erica J. Green. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything at Erica J.
Snapchat.
She's a social media junkie.
So catch us next time where we're going to be discussing Get On Up, a little biopic you might have heard about. So catch us next time. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Come back now.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.